Blonde Intelligence with me, Miss Ronnie, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week we have a very special guest. We have Rothstein Beatz out of Virginia. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. We're going to start out with how I met you is through Clubhouse. So we're going to start out with letting you tell everybody what it is that you do on Clubhouse, and then you move into what you do in the music industry.
Okay, well, again, thank you again for having me. Pleasure to be here. I'm Rothstein Beatz. I run a room on Clubhouse called Music Networking No Egos. I'm a big believer that if you want to get some work done, you got to leave your ego at the door. And it's been, it's been a successful room. I have met so many crazy and experienced people. Matter of fact, I had Brandy and Ray J Mom in my room today. Sandra Norwood was in my room today. So I told her my price went up today because she came in there. So yeah, come to my room on Clubhouse called Music Network and No Egos.
Okay. Now tell us about you as an artist, as what you do in the industry.
Yes, well, I'm a music producer. I've been producing professionally for about 14 years. I have a company called Casino Gang Records. I started actually last year during the pandemic 2020. It was a dream of mine, so I just continued to press through no matter what was going on. I have worked with a couple people in the industry, Grammy nominated Trev Rich, Misha from 702, because I'm from Las Vegas. But I'm also bi-coastal in Virginia, which is my second home, which I'm working with a lot of great artists out here in Virginia as well. So yeah, I have a lot of great releases getting ready to drop this year. Thankful to Clubhouse, I was able to make a lot of great connections. So yeah, I plan on having, hearing my name out there a lot more this year.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm a songwriter and producer. I live in Canada, just outside of Toronto. And I've worked with a lot of major label artists, a lot of independent artists. I've worked on TV shows, music for TV, for film, for video games, and a whole bunch of different things like that. Just if you need music, just come to me and let's make some music. That's my life.
And it's called Addictive Music Group.
Mm-hmm.
After I got my deal with Universal Music, after the Alicia Keys and Gunna record and many other that I've done went #1 and for rap and hip hop albums, and then Alicia Keys was the #1 adult R&B song of the year.
Being a producer, how many instruments do you think should go into an actual studio composition?
That's a great question, because I've heard the minimum is 3 sounds. I've heard the minimum you should have at least 3 different. I'm saying disregarding the drums and the kicks and snares and hi hats, and because that's the heartbeat of the track. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the heartbeat of the track. But to add a bottom, a middle, and a high, that's how I look at it. Like you should have something on top with something light, something in the middle simmering, and then that bottom to the record that adds that bass and the soul to the record. So that's why I say minimally. But if you got the right piano and the right key and the chord progression and everything's rolling, you can, you look at Earth, Wind and Fire, they had a whole band rocking out. So music is limitless. So, so it's just kind of up to you. But I say a minimum 3. 3 is my lucky number. So, hello.
Well, I have been singing my whole life. Do I have a great voice? No. I can sing to a point where I can get my ideas across. Even Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, when you hear them sing, they've written some of the best songs in the world. When you hear them sing, it's hilarious. They're so shy about it. And they're just like, they're not great singers, but they get their ideas across. And what I love is when I'm working with a great vocalist, when I can, sing to them, and they laugh a little bit at the beginning, when I'm singing it to them, just because I'm not as trained as they are. But when I present to them what I'm looking for them to do, I love it when they take it and they give it back to me 1,000 times better. You know, like that's just so much fun for me where I can be like, what about this? What about if it was like this and you sing this melody and they're like, oh, you mean like this? And it's just like, wow, that's incredible. That's
In your opinion, weigh attitude versus talent.
well, okay, if we're going to talk about attitude, then I would say good attitude is really important. The best attitude. Waking up every day and realizing that each day is a gift. Realizing that there's a lot of people that could be wishing that they could be doing this and never taking anything for granted. You know, just I believe in three things. I believe in having the best personality as number one, loving everybody that you meet, treating everybody like your brother and sister. Number two is developing your talent, and that never ends. That you continually do that until the day you die. And then number three is your sense of drive, your networking, getting out there and saying to the world, I'm still here. You need those three things in which to work. It's like a tripod for a camera, right? You need those three legs in which to stand up strong and to support that camera. You are the camera, and you need great personality, a huge amount of talent, a huge amount of drive, and just keep working on all three of those things. Never sit back and say, I've done enough. Say, how can I be better today? How can I treat my fellow human being in a better way today? How can I help somebody? How can I get better at what it is that I do? Who can teach me different things? You know, like I'm also a big believer that everybody around you knows something that you don't know. Right. And if you sit back and you're open and receptive to it, everyone can become your teacher. There's always stuff to learn. And just getting out there and just making friends with people, getting to know people all around the world and just letting them know that you're there and you can help them with one thing or another. That's the secret to having a great career, a great life, making lifelong friends, you know, all of that. Bad attitude will get you nowhere. And, you know, imagine if you're missing any one of those three things. You could be so talented and so driven, but you've got the worst personality. Nobody's going to want to sit there and work with you. You could have the greatest personality, the greatest talent, but if you're not out there networking, you're not going to get anywhere. I heard a great saying that said, networking equals not working.
What made you, I would guess, gravitate towards your generation?
Well, what made me want to start all of this and gravitate towards developing was no one did that for me. And I had to learn by getting taken advantage of. So what I want to do now is show them that you actually have someone you can rely on, someone you can trust. I'm here to show you the way, and you're in good hands. I wrote, I'll just say, I wrote a few songs earlier on, you know, in my early 20s for a couple of Christian girls. That song went on the radio. I saw no money. I wrote a song for a girl that was on, she went on to go on to Nickelodeon. I saw no money. And this repeated and repeated. And I started to wonder what's the deal with my life? Why am I getting nothing? And I still am in contact with these people. What?
Were you registered as a songwriter?
I didn't know anything about that stuff back then. I just thought I was the boy with the guitar riding with these two girls, and their mother was the manager, and she was going to hook me up.
So that means that they never set you up a sound exchange for you to get paid for the...
Nothing. No sound exchange, no BMI, ASCAP. I didn't know what publishing. I didn't know what a master was. I didn't know what anything was. Yeah, I thought you had to play on guitar, and then one day they were going to blow up like Mary and Mary, because they were two sisters. It was going to be like Mary and Mary, and I was going to go on tour and live the life. But it never happened.
So what happened, or what made you find out what was wrong, why you wasn't getting your money? I mean, when did that happen?
When they started driving around with new cars and I had nothing. And then I heard my music on the radio that I wrote with them, and I recorded in a recording studio with them. That's when I found out. You know what I mean?
You said something in there that I tried to explain to people. So next thing I'm going to tell you to explain: intellectual property.
Hello. Now, what we're on right now is intellectual property. What we're doing right now is intellectual property. If it's something that could be viewed, listened to, sold, property is like, intellect is what you created from your mind, and you was able to in a logical way put it down on paper, put it down on audio. So you want to protect, this is your baby. These are the notepads that you got in your house. This is the recordings you got on your phone. This is the time, the countless times you in the studio working on this song. You want to protect that with everything that you got, because this is you. You're the intellectual property. I tell people that all the time. Any artist I deal with, you are the music. So why would you let somebody else have property of control of your music, of you, unless you get paid for it? You know what I'm saying? Unless you decide to sign on the dotted line to sell your intellectual property to a label to make money off of. So, and you can still protect yourself before it even gets to that point of dealing with the label. So, because they know what you're worth. They know that Drake is a billion dollar artist. They know that, more than that, trillion. So Drake protected. So you got to look at yourself like a billionaire artist. Like, I got to protect myself, and I got to get all my dollars. And then when I'm getting my dollars, I don't mind splitting some money with people to help me get to my, get more money. So that's why I got to say, with intellectual property, it's protected with everything you got.
What I've seen in my past is to me, the record label and the publishing company is the bank. So they have the money, they're ready to drop it, but you have to show them what to drop it on. So that's what my company's for. We bring them up, we show them, hey, this is what you're going to put your money into, this is what you're going to get back. That's what we do.
Okay.
And I also
try
to teach the new people that are with me. I try to teach them the business side of music, because a lot of them have never learned anything about. They've been taught weird things, or they might have thought this is the way to do it or that's the way. I try to teach them the real way.
What you're doing is great.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
And I like your interview. It's great.
Thank you. Well, I know you're busy. I thank you for coming.
So that's it? We're done?
Yeah, our time is almost up. We scheduled this time. Don't stay in there now. Yeah. I'm working.
You got to have one more question in there. Come on. No?
Well, I'll let you have the last word. So
I can be found at Rob W Music everywhere, on Twitter, Instagram. That's my email as well, on Gmail, Rob W Music. Everybody should follow their dreams, do what you love. You're here for 100 years if you're lucky, and just do what you love, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. I thank you, man. This is one of the best interviews I've ever done in my life. I swear. Like, you've got great questions, and
that is a compliment.
You're great. You are fantastic at what you're doing, and I really appreciate you.
Well, I thank you for coming. And I would like for you to give everybody your social media handles, where they can follow you, how they can work with you, any new projects you got out, anything that you want to give as some last words.
Hey, well, first of all, I want to thank you for reaching out. Thank you for coming to my room. I love your vibe. I love your platform. I wish you the best and, continual success. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on there heavy. It is at like the letter I-A-M, Rothstein Beatz, Rothstein. I know it's kind of a crazy name, but I want to make sure it stands out. Rothstein Beatz. It's probably the title on here as well. So follow me on there. Clubhouse is Rothstein Beatz. You can definitely find me on there. I'm on there every day. Matter of fact, my room is still going on. I told them to close the room, but they still got it going on. They don't want to leave, but definitely Clubhouse and Instagram is the two you can find me on. I have my link tree where you can list me on BeatStars, YouTube. Just Google Rothstein Beatz. I got music on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. So it's some beat tapes, some stuff like that as well. And CasinoGangRecords.com. Casino Gang Make sure you check me out. Got some merch coming. CasinoGameRecords.com. I got my artist about to be on there. So, yeah, that's what I got going on, and I'm thankful for your allowing me to speak on your platform, and just thank you again. Hello, and hello, and I look forward to seeing y'all on Clubhouse and hit me on IG.
All right. Y'all heard him. You can find him on Clubhouse, on IGTV. And don't forget, you can catch this on podcasts, on all podcasting platforms, and on YouTube and IGTV. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Peace.